welcome to the first episode of
The Farm.
I'm Matt, and this is
David.
your number one source for all Destiny 2 news. This is episode 1.
We've had a successful Destiny 2 beta. We spent a lot of time in the PvP world, talking a lot about rugs and market.
Rugs market, and the PvE world.
And the PvE world.
Destiny beta launched last Tuesday. It was supposed to be the last day Sunday. They just extended it for 2 days. It's gonna be Monday, Tuesday. For those of you that somehow missed out, beta consisted of Homecoming, which is the first story mission, the Strike, the Inverted Spire, then also 2 PvP modes, Control, which is the classic
Trying to capture A, B, and C, hold the zones, get points for holding the zones, get points for kills.
and Countdown. And yeah, like David said, Control is pretty much what we played in Destiny 1. However, there are some tweaks to Control. So now, instead of having to neutralize a flag, you just capture it. You just straight up capture the thing, which makes gameplay go a lot faster because then it's like you already start when it's like A and C. You already start with those captured. You don't even need to capture them. Meaning everyone like rushes to B.
Yeah.
And the biggest changes are to the weapons now, the categories. So you have kinetic, energy, and
Formerly known as heavy, now it's power.
which is pretty crazy because it's like heavy now consists of shotguns, fusion rifles,
Sniper rifles.
rocket launchers, grenade launchers. The second category is all just like solar arc void damage. So it's like how to negate people that have those shields up or are using those powers. The first category is just pure bullets. The strange thing is you can have a pistol on the first one, pistol on the second one, or you can have an auto rifle here and an auto rifle there.
Yeah.
So it definitely changes the flow of PvP. Supers are not as important anymore. Pretty much with Control, if you do really good, you might be able to get 2 supers, but for the most part, you're probably going to get 1 super. Same thing for Countdown. If you're lucky, you're probably going to get 1 super, and if you're really good, you might get 2. But I don't even know if that's possible, to be honest. Because the build just to get it super is super slow.
Right.
No puns intended.
Yeah. It's much slower than the first Destiny. What's interesting is they've sped up the power ammo. Countdown, it's like under a minute.
Instead of like getting them on the ground, they're literally attached to walls now. But there's usually, in both maps, there's 2 places for heavy, and they spawn each round. The meta of the guns is a lot different. So when Destiny Year 3, basically where we're at now, is sidearms had become the strongest thing. Shotguns were previously, and then they nerfed shotguns, and then sidearms were the biggest thing. Now it seems like fusion rifles are the best heavy. Like you can pretty much one-shot a guy with a fusion rifle, good charge. And shotguns are pretty powerful again too.
Oh, yeah.
But I see most people using the fusion rifle. The beta is limited in weapons though. You get I think there's about 20 guns. There is different armor and stuff like that. When you start the beta, you get to play the Homecoming story, and the craziest thing is like the Homecoming story is you get an exotic, mission 1.
Each class does have a specific exotic weapon that they get. Sunshot for hunters, which is like a hand cannon.
Yeah, so
a solid gun. I really like that one.
The hunter gets a pretty cool hand cannon. The Titan gets the chain gun. And then the Warlock gets this like, it's almost kind of like Xylo Supercell, but it's too shaky. It's like a shittier version of that. He definitely has the worst exotic. So I think that's how it's going to be for the main game. I also think, this isn't confirmed, but I think it's kind of like 100%, is those exotics you get are class specific. Yeah. So the ones that we just mentioned will be for those classes. Like the Titan will have the machine gun, and then only the Titan will get that gun, you know?
Right.
The Gatling gun. And then only the Hunter will get that pistol. Whether or not you can share those, we don't know yet, but it's looking like a no.
Which is good. I like to see like class-specific traits or...
exotics.
Exotics, yeah.
Yeah. So they also gave each class 2 subclasses. We don't know yet. It's unconfirmed whether or not there's going to be a 3rd subclass. So the Titan gets Striker and Sentinel, which is the Captain America. Striker is the old Slam one, the blue arc, but it's now been changed into a roaming super. Hunters get Arc Strider is the new one, which is basically kind of like Blade Dancer, but a little less. Blade Dancer would basically like heat seek people. Arc Strider, you literally have to go at them. You choose the direction. It's a mixed bag super. Some people love it, some people don't. I don't particularly like it, but you can spam O to get to places. So Golden Gun's back. for the hunter, but now it shoots more shots, but they're weaker. His throwing knife is a lot more powerful. It actually does like a AoE attack if you hit someone. Finally, the warlock, basically you turn into the solar like angel of death and you can rain fire things from your sword. I really like that special. And then the other class is back to the Nova Bomb, the Void Walker. And the difference with that is now the void goes slowly and then breaks up into other things, but it tracks like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I literally try to jump away and it will follow you.
You will die.
Yeah, you will die. A cool perk that the Void Walker has also, unlike the other classes, is you can charge your grenades using your super. So you have a super, and if you have it built up all the way or just a little bit of it, you hold the button for grenade and the warlock will actually charge the grenade. I mean, David, you always play Titan.
I always play Titan. I like the new Sentinel.
Captain America, so you can charge, you can block, and you can throw the shield.
Yeah, so like I was fighting someone today who was in Captain America mode, and I couldn't kill him. The shield was blocking him the whole time, and you can throw the shield using L1. You can kind of bash around. I haven't had enough opportunities for supers to really become that familiar with it. But yeah, overall I like the Sentinel a lot. You can still use the bubble, just like with a Defender in Destiny 1.
Yeah, the bubble no longer buffs though. That's now the Warlock does the weapons buff and the healing buff. The Titan, however, can still pop the bubble, but then it's just for protection. The Titan's cool new other power, though, is you can either choose between a low-powered wall or a high shield wall. And that's the O power. So you have kind of like a mini super and a big super. The Hunter's one is by far, I think, the weakest. It's a dodge, and he reloads his gun as you dodge. It doesn't help your teammates at all, and it's kind of, I think, the shittiest one because the other two powers really help. Like a Titan throwing up the wall really protects his team for a little bit, gives you a little bit of defense. Mm-hmm. This works in PvE or PvP. The Warlock's weapon buff is really great for PvE, and healing is really good for PvP.
That's pretty handy defensive technique. I actually like the smaller shield where you can shoot over it.
It ducks automatically, so when you use your sights, you pop over it and then you duck down.
Yeah.
If not,
the shields can be destroyed though, so if you're using them in PvE, I wonder how long they're gonna last.
Well, in PvE they seem to last longer than in PvP because people now have figured out they use their energy weapons to you can destroy a shield really fast. Let's go through the beta then. Let's go for impressions. So talk about Homecoming, which is the story mission.
I liked about Homecoming, you finally get to see the NPCs in action. You have Zavala throwing up the big Titan bubble. Cora takes down a ship on her own, and that's pretty badass. And Cade's still there for comic relief, but yeah.
So they have a lot more cutscenes, a lot more effects on screen. This mission is pretty cool, like comparatively to anything that Vanilla 1 Destiny did. It has a lot more scripted sequences, a lot more cutscenes. If they can keep up the pace of this, you literally, the tower's being destroyed, and the second half, you take a spaceship from Amanda Holiday to a Cabal spaceship because they're attacking the tower, and then you fight through that, blow up the spaceship, but everyone just gets like messed up. You're like, where's everyone? And then Gaul at the end of the mission shows up, and he's basically like a mix between Darth Vader and Bane, and he kind of like takes your light, and then he's just like, you don't even fear death. You clutch your ghost. You're trying to clutch it. He kicks you. It falls off, and then he kicks you off, and so the start of mission 2 is going to be like probably you going towards your ghost, trying to find it. But I really enjoyed the mission. I think that if every story mission is as good as that first one, then we're in for probably the best Bungie campaign since Halo Reach or one of their old games, because Destiny 1's campaign was pretty lacking. They got better. Each DLC, Taken King, was a much better campaign than Vanilla Destiny was. And then Rise of Iron, even though it was short, it was like 5 missions. Those 5 missions were better than, again, anything that was in Vanilla Destiny. Bungie has said that they have over 50 cutscenes, so that's a lot of cutscenes. So it seems like it's going to be much more story oriented. They got voiceovers, they got people talking to you. It seems like the campaign's going to be pretty fucking solid.
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a fun, pretty fast-paced endeavor.
The next thing we're going to talk about is the Strike. So the Strike is pretty cool. Birdspire. It's definitely a lot bigger than the other strikes in Destiny 1.
Yeah,
a lot more wider space.
And you're going through these different warp fields.
They're like, warp fields that throw you and stuff. A lot of locality. It takes place on Nessa, which is one of the new planets.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like Vex technology, but like kind of a pretty blues and greens and some like red foliage. It looks cool. It looks similar to Black Spear towards the end of Destiny 1. I liked it.
I like the drill, how that was done. They brought back some of the old enemies.
They've redone every skin. You can actually fight the Fallen there, even though you don't have to. The Cabal are the main enemies in the game, but they have like a lot more enemy types now. So the Cabal have these guys with like meat cleavers, they have dogs, and they also have flamethrower guys, and then they have rocket guys, which have yellow bars. But yeah, they have a lot more enemy types. And yeah, you fight a couple of Minotaurs and a couple of Vex. And if you want, and when you start the strike, if you go to the right, you can actually fight the new Fallen, and they look cool. They look more savage. They've since it's on PS4 now and Xbox One, they've upped all the textures, and it looks a lot better than Destiny 1 because they're not doing like the older systems now.
For those of you that don't, well, this is a Fallen Captain.
There you go. The other cool thing about Strike is I'm really excited about all these strikes because the boss fight is really
boss
cool.
fight was great. It's a 3-part boss fight.
3 phases, yeah. You start on the top, and then you're fighting. He kind of looks like the guy. He looks like this guy from the Vault of Glass. And then you're fighting harpies, and you're fighting those, and he drops the floor. You fall to the phase 2, and that's where he slams and lights the floor on lava.
Yeah, so you got to get up to the pillars pretty quickly, otherwise that lava's will
hurt you,
wipe you out. Phase 3, go down even another level, and that's where all the ads seem to come in, all the harpies and the Vex.
But the water around is poison.
Can't touch the water.
And then he circles you, and you don't have a lot of cover, so you have to kill him. And once you get him down enough, once you shoot up his head, he then goes on top of the platform and can stomp you. And all the ads explode into these pools of damage. So it really felt like it's not as tough as a raid, but it definitely takes more coordination than the older strikes.
Yeah,
it's engaging.
It felt like a little chaotic the first time I played it. I mean, it's not that difficult of a strike, but if you're not...
harder than the first game strikes, though.
But if you're not careful, you can die pretty easily.
Yeah, I like it. And if they keep the pace of the story and they keep the pace of the strikes, then I think that we're in for like some really cool shit with
I
Destiny 2.
really like the strike.
If you're a PvE player.
I'm most excited for the new raid. I want to see what's going on with that. But haven't really heard much.
Don't know anything about it too much. I mean, the only thing they said was it takes place in an area that is believable, so that makes me think if it's believable, it's probably our Earth, maybe, and maybe it's like the European Dead Zone, but I don't know, the EDZ. Then you have the 2 PvP things, and so again with PvP, I think it's a lot more balanced. The biggest complaint that I've been seeing like on Reddit and Twitter and all the different Destiny places from fans and YouTube even is Bungie seems like they cater Destiny 2 more to competitive PvP, and some people feel that like they nerfed like your supers, they nerfed the weird order of the weapons to cater to the competitive side of people, but I think it works for both. I definitely like PvP better. I think it's more about the guns, more about skill now. You have less supers, grenades don't kill as much. Overall, I think the changes are really positive for PvP. I can't say whether or not these changes hurt PvE yet because I didn't play enough PvE. Yeah. I mean, you only get a strike in Homecoming. I've definitely played the PvP matches more. I like the new mode. I think it's fun. The defusing the bombs. You switch teams. One team plants one time, and the next one you defend, and the other team plants, and you switch off until whoever gets 6. I really like that.
And even if you kill the whole other team, but you're unable to defuse the bomb, you'll still lose.
Yeah, if they plant, it's still they can win. Yeah, so it's all about like communication, and again, it feels a little bit like Trials because in that mode you can res people, but you can only res once. In Control, you just keep resing. So Control, you can get you can rack up if you're good 35, 29 kills. In the other mode, the bomb mode, you can only do, so many kills because you're playing 4v4. All the modes are 4v4 now, but you only have limited lives, so you have to pick up your partners and stuff like that, so you can't kill them. I've gotten, I think, the best streak I did was 16, I think, in that mode, and I don't know how you get too much higher, but the best streak I had in Control is I got 29, which is pretty good.
I got 7.
The best you did on Control, I think, was 16 or 15, yeah, which isn't bad.
On up.
He's not really a PvP guy, and he's just got to play more. I definitely played the beta more than you, though. I played like every day. You just played a little bit.
The last 2 days, though, I was playing a good bit.
But yeah, overall, I think it gave us a good taste of like what's to come of Destiny. My experience just was positive. I know some people are a little bit salty that it's more geared towards PvP and it's hurting the PvE, but I didn't get that. I like the story mission. I like the strike.
Yeah, we saw the one good strike, and the story mission was good too. So I guess we'll have to see in the future.
And today they launched the farm, which is the social space. We ran around it.
Played a lot of soccer and got some fireworks shot off and jumped around.
Climbed the 2 buildings on the wires. Yeah, there wasn't lots to do. They had disabled all the NPCs. You can kind of figure out, look to be where your vault space is going to be, where the Eververse is, which is the paid microtransactions for emotes and stuff. You saw where the new Cryptarch is, girl from Rise of Iron, not the Cryptarch. Raul is dead, I guess. Then we saw where Shaxx is going to be with his Crucible robots. I mean, you could kind of figure out where NPCs would be, but it was completely empty. It's smaller than the tower.
You're this like spacefaring civilization, and you've been demoted to living on a farm somewhere in
Walking Dead Season 2.
Yeah, literally.
But it looks nice, and it looks quicker, so I know there's supposed to be a lot of secrets there, but it seemed like everything was disabled. We found a couple lights that you could turn on. We couldn't figure out anything to do with that. We climbed all the buildings, climbed all the things. There's not a lot to do there at the moment, but this is the place where you're going to be going to turn in, get stuff in your postmaster. If they have bounties, get bounties. Decrypt your engrams.
Yeah, I really hope they fix the physics on the soccer ball.
Soccer ball physics are a little wanky.
Physics did not make any sense, but
yeah, they're a little wanky. There's whoever gets 3 gets fireworks, so it's like they have these little lights on both of the nets, and whichever one you get 3 shots in shoots off fireworks. There's definitely gonna be some Easter eggs in there, but they only had it on for an hour, and it was not a lot to see. But overall, I like the beta. It was a very small slice of what we're getting. I definitely think PvP's improved. I think the strike was fun. I think the campaign mission is great. If they can keep the level of like energy up that we saw in the beta throughout everything, the maps were good, then I think Destiny 2 is going to be a lot of fun. I do think that if you didn't like Destiny 1, this is not going to change your mind. It's just kind of like a better version of Destiny.
Right.
But I don't think it's like anything different.
I'm excited for what the game has to offer. We don't really know how many missions there are going to be.
We know that we don't. We know that there's 50 cutscenes, but I would imagine there's probably going to be like 30 story missions. I would guess. How many strikes are there? I want to say at least 6. Some people were like, "Oh, there's way more," but you got to remember last time it was probably like 2 per like Earth, Moon, Mars. It's probably like 6 or maybe 8, maybe more. Who knows?
We'll see if they add in like the heroic
one raid for sure.
Heroic difficulties for strikes.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be difficulty tiers, I imagine. Whether or not we get some of this stuff at launch, it might come later. We know there's going to be a Trials-like mode. Trials of Osiris was the crazy hardcore PvP mode. And we also don't know if there's one extra subclass. So we're still missing Hunter doesn't have a Void. Titan doesn't have Solar.
Or Solar.
And then Warlock doesn't have Arc. So we'll see if there is an extra hidden subclass. But yeah, there's still going to be a lot of secrets that they're not talking about. Come September, I'm really excited to play this and do a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot to talk about as well. I mean, Destiny continues to update and evolve, and we're going to do videos for all the biggest news stories about Destiny, and then once the game's out, we're going to cover out like what we've been doing in the game, what's going on in the game, and then what you can look forward to and stuff, and what's the new discoveries, what's the best weapons, etc., etc. So if you like Destiny, then
this is the show for you.
This is the show for you. We here at the farm are going to have you covered, And we're going to talk all about Destiny, and we're going to get good, right, David? David's going to
get good.
So
get
right
good
now,
PvP.
David's going to he's starting at 12 kills. by the end of the month 1 of Destiny 2, I think you're gonna be up to 20. Thanks for watching. This was episode 1. Let us know what you thought. Leave a comment below. Tell us what you liked, didn't like. And just remember the farm. We're part of the Press Pause Network. If you want to check out some reviews on movies and TV shows and other things that we've done, check out our other channel, Press Pause. We are under the Press Pause banner, even though the farm is a separate channel. Our main channel is Press Pause, and you can, like us and follow us there. All our information, I think, is going to be, our Twitter is going to still be Press Pause. Facebook will be Press Pause. So if you want movie and TV stuff, check out our other stuff. We do reviews on Spider-Man and American Gods and God of War and Planet of the Apes and other things. So check all that out. But if you don't like any of that stuff, just subscribe to this place, The Farm, and get all your Destiny news. It's going to be right here. Check it out.
Right here on The Farm.
The Farm.